What's up, weirdos? Nah, I'm just kidding. You know everyone's wanted to do that. Hey, it's SHOVELHEADFFEJ out in the Shovelhead shed. And, you know, I think it was my last video. I did a little tour of my shop. And it got me to thinking about my shop and what the garage means to me. I think to most men. And, but I can only give you my, buy your stickers. I can only give you my take on what the shop means to me. And for me, a garage is more than fixing things. It's more than a place to store motorcycles or tools or things like that. To me, a shop it's a sanctuary. It's a church. It's a cathedral. It's so many different things. It's my psychiatrist. It's where I go to try to get my head clear and to think about things and think about my future and think about my past. It's a place where I can go and talk to inanimate objects and discuss whatever problems that I have. It's not that I don't have a wife that I can do that to, but sometimes just getting into my own head is the best place to be. It's a place where I can fix my wife's glasses or fix my neighbor kid's bicycle wheel. It's a place where I can drink. It's a great bar. It's a place where there's no such thing as foul language. That any topic can be discussed out here. A garage is more than just a place where you fix things. It's a place that I love to go, and I can shut my door and just get away from the world and forget about the problems of the world, as well as forget about my problems. It's more than just a building. It's one of the very few places anymore that I'm allowed to express my manhood. And I understand females have shops too. I got that. But it's a place where I can talk to my friends and discuss any subject I want, and nothing is off limits, and no language is, your language isn't controlled. I can say exactly what I want to say, and I don't have to worry about my pronouns. I don't have to worry about, wow, am I going to offend somebody? Because if you're offended in a shop, trust me, you're in the wrong place. It's a place for my morning coffee, and it's a place for my my morning cigar. It's usually the last place that I am at nighttime before I go in and eat supper and and go to sleep. But it is a place where I can sleep. I never had to go sleep in the shop. The shop is so much more. And I am lucky and I'm blessed, man. I feel lucky and blessed to be able to have a shop. I think if I had a shop in town, I think a lot of shop owners don't realize that a lot of people don't. A lot of shop owners, I think, don't realize that yes, that's a place where they work, and they're trying to get work done, and they're trying to fix customers' bikes, and they're trying to produce, and they're trying to make a living. But like a moth to a light, guys want to come down and hang around at the shop and talk to you and just talk about their lives and talk about. It's like it's the only place left, man, where you're allowed to actually be a man, and then everywhere else, no, you have to, bend to society's will. Yeah, it's more than a place to put. It's definitely more than a place to put motorcycles. It's definitely more than a place to put your tools. My shop is a place where I can dream and I can think. It's where I can edit. It's where I can create videos. It's where I can just let my mind run free and think of all sorts of things in this. There's no distraction. There's no music. There's no television out here. Sometimes there's music, but there's no distraction. Except when I bring a distraction in by bringing in my cell phone and stuff like that. But it helps me to be able to clear my mind. It helps me to think clearly. My favorite time of coming out in the shop is early in the morning when Roscoe is still asleep, even though he's awake now. Even though it's early in the morning, it's still dark outside. I don't know, it's like 6 o'clock, I think. But it's just that place where, man, I can look at the bikes and I can look at the history and I can look at and dream and dream about that bike that I want to build, or that bucket list bike, or that place where I can look at the metal and the steel, the rubber, and just be at awe at the design of the bike, and where I can't figure out how do I fix this part on my house, because I'm not a carpenter and I'm not a this and I'm not an engineer, but I'm a hands-on guy and I like to do things and I like to work with my hands, and so how do I fix it, because I don't know how. And it's a place where I can figure all that out. It's a place where I can figure out, wow, how do we fix this? How do we fix this world? What do I do? What's my next step? A place where I can better myself, where I can think about all my past mistakes in my life and think about my future mistakes and how to avoid them. I mean, my shop here, I've learned so much in my life, and I hate the fact that I'm old, and even though I have a long life, hopefully more to go, there's still not enough time to learn the things that I want to learn and do the things that I want to do. And so in my shop, there's so much history because I have my great-grandfather's tools, I have my grandfather's tools, and I have my father's tools. My father was an aircraft mechanic for Eastern Airlines, and so I still have his tools, and I still have the things that he taught me about tools and how to use a tool. And I learned how to use tools that I've never used before. There are not so much more, but I had so many different types of tools, I had no idea what it does. But now I know what it does, and I know how to use it. Some of that, or a lot of that stuff is self-taught. Some of it I learned on YouTube and stuff like that. But I think every man should have a shop, even if it's a little tiny small, even if it's a little tiny little space in your spare bedroom in your apartment. You know, I wish I could have. I wish I could have opened up a shop like Shade was talking about. I wish I could have had a shop where people could just hang out and just work on bikes and talk about bikes and talk about women and talk about men and talk about politics and talk about religion, and just a place where it doesn't really matter if it gets fixed. It's more of a place to just hang out and just be. It's kind of like kind of like a barber shop, I guess, without getting your hair cut. Where you learn how to sharpen a knife, where you learn how to sharpen an axe, where you learn how to change a tire, where you learn how to tighten a chain and stuff like that. You know, they have taken shop out of schools. Schools no longer have shop that I'm aware of. I mean, that's where I learned how to work on wood, and that's where I learned how to work on metal and stuff like that. Even though I'm not a carpenter and I'm not a metal worker, but I learned the basics of tools and how to keep all my fingers and stuff like that. how to engineer and how to figure out how to make something work, which is super important, but they don't teach that anymore. I think it's so important that a man has a shop. I mean, even if it's, you know, just using your wife's butter knife to fix something. And when I keep talking in the male sense, but I also are including the females. But I also think that if you're a female coming into a man's world, I think if you're a female coming into a man's shop, don't expect any preferential treatment. And if you're a soft man coming into a man's shop, don't expect no preferential treatment. In fact, it'll probably toughen you up. I believe that whatever happens in a shop stays in a shop. Whatever you say stays here. When you go outside those doors, it doesn't go outside, because it is a place where you can talk. It is a place where you can be you. It is a place where you can I think a shop is a place where all the outside bullshit stays on the outside, and what comes in the inside stays in the inside. I do believe the code of brotherhood. I do believe in keeping your mouth shut and don't throwing somebody under a bus. Don't run and go tattletale. Mind your own business. Make sure your tail don't get stepped on, and try not to step on someone else's tail. I think a shop is also a laboratory where you try things, and if it works, it works, and you pretend like, yeah, you knew what you were doing. If it didn't work, you just smile and go, well, that didn't work. I think a shop is a place where you try to figure out if you're gonna worry, you worry out in the garage, you worry out in the shop. When you get around your wife, when you get around your significant other, that's not the place to show any type of weakness or worry. You show kindness, but never weakness. I think you should be a leader in your household, and I think you should fear nothing. At least don't let the fear show on the outside. I've always told my wife, I said, babe, that's what I call her, babe, worry when I worry. If you don't see me worrying, then don't worry. And I try to never show her fear, and I try to never, no matter what it is, I don't care what the doctor has diagnosed me with or anything else like that, I try to never show fear, because fear is very contagious. And the last thing as a leader, the man of the house, the last thing you want to do as the man of the house is to show any type of fear. And I think this is the place where you go out to and you gather your strength, no matter how scared you are, no matter how unsure you are. This is the place where you come to and you gather your strength and you gather all your fortitude, and then you go out into the world. When you open the door, you go out into the world. That's where you put on a different face, and you put on that brave face, and you fear nothing and fear no one. I think the shop is the place where your wife says, honey, I broke this. Honey, I've done this. And you say, babe, no worries, man. I can fix that. I can fix it. And then you run out here and watch some YouTube videos and try to figure out how to fix it. And then you fix it. And then you bring it back to her. And she looks at you like you just invented oxygen or something like that. I think out in the shop, you can do anything. You can be anything. I think a shop is the place where you can dream and hope, and whatever war is going on, that's going on over there. Whatever hunger is going on, that's going on over there. Whatever drought, whatever flood. It's a building, but it's more than a building. The shop is more than just a shop. It's a memorial. It's a place where I hang all it's a place where I hang all my it's a place where I hide all my mementos. It's a place where my brothers, both paternal and it's a place where all my memories are. If you want to know who who Jeff is, then come inside my shop and look around, and you'll see who I am and how I've spent my life. And I hope I spent it good. My most personal possessions are in this shop, which are my pictures and my mementos of my life. Being married and being around someone who I absolutely love being around. It's the one place that I go not to get away from her, but I go and spend so she'll continue to love me and I don't get on her nerves, because I do have a habit of getting on people's nerves. I look at these motorcycles and I think, wow, man, you know, the Harley Davidson was made in a shop a quarter the size of this. Wow, look what they did. I do love this shop. I do love my garage. I look back and it's like a time capsule. Oh yeah, that fender. Yeah, I remember that 30 years ago when I biffed it in. Or, oh yeah, I remember them handlebars. That's how they got bent. It is a time capsule of my life. I am blessed to have a shop. And I don't show my shop to brag. I don't show my shop to say, oh, look what I got and look what you don't have. It's not that at all. This channel just kind of shows the world, or at least 8,000 and something odd people, what my world looks like. I've never hit a home run. I've never made a touchdown. I've never caught an interception. But out in my shop, I've done all that. Because when you fix something, when you take something apart that an engineer designed 100 years ago, an engineer designed 70 years ago, and you take it apart and you know that everybody that's touched that bolt, that gasket, those moving gears, that's machined those parts, every one of them are dead now. And they were alive and they were in their youth. And they put that motor together. And it hasn't been opened up since you've touched it. And it hasn't been opened up since they put it together. I'm just, wow. What were their dreams and what were their hopes and stuff like that? I'm rambling on, man. And my cat is out there whining. Anyway, yeah, this is my shop, but it's more than my shop. Yeah, this is where I work on things. But mainly the things that I work on in here is me. I'm grateful and I'm thankful that I have this shop. And I'm grateful and I'm thankful that I have you guys, my subscribers and my viewers. I am the most luckiest man in the world. Thank you guys. Love you guys. And like, share, and subscribe, and all that other good stuff. Thank you for watching my videos, and thank you for indulging me in this long diatribe of just trying to put words together. I gotta go feed the pigs and the chickens and the cat and the cows and all that other good stuff. So anyway, peace, I'm out.